is the ump. A vampire, nope. An umpire and a vampire square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies, the 1992 Dead Alive and the 2001 A Knight's Tale, starring Heath Ledger, Tim Bellamy, Diane Penalover, Alan Tudyk, Elizabeth Moody, Mark Addy, and a Sumotrian rat monkey. Now two guys who always say, remember, 6 out of the 7 dwarfs weren't happy. Tim Kretschmann and Jeff Miller.
That was depressing.
But it's true. It's true.
A little depressing, but here we are. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dead on the Bases. I'm one of your hosts, Tim Kretschmann, and he's Jeff Miller.
The winner of season 9, just so they know. I just want you. Yeah.
Season 9.
Yeah.
You brought along the loving cup?
Yeah. Everything's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to wear this every week.
Yeah. Jeff invented a new type of pitching machine that throws wrenches instead of balls. It's called the Patches O'Houlihan pitching machine.
Yeah, okay.
That's Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff is our sports fan, so of course he gets to watch a nice, wonderful family horror film, and then he gives me some drug-addled sports movie to watch because I'm a horror fan.
No drugs in this one.
Yeah, for once. It's amazing. Folks, for those of you that don't know it, we're on our 10th season. You'd think we'd be better by now.
We would be.
Yeah, but you're holding me back.
And, well, but I'm the champion, so you know what? All roads go through me in this one.
We need a counter for how many times he's going to bring up, well, I'm the champion. I'm the champion.
Wait till I work.
I'm the champion, everybody. Everybody should kiss my ass. I'm the champion.
I never said that.
You meant it.
But when you're the champion, I mean, come on.
So we're in the 10th season. That means that Jeff has only been wrong 528 times according to my statistics.
I was thinking I should have theme music when I come on, like, we are the champions,
hold on.
my friend.
Maybe I think
I do.
No, I have some
do you?
music for you.
You have
ready?
it. You have it.
Here we go. That's perfect. There you go. You can tell he's like grooving when that goes.
Yeah, because
he loves it.
it's the underscore to we are the champions.
Oh, wait.
What?
Wait. I think maybe I have it. There
That'd be awesome.
Okay, anyway.
Just
Do
remember.
you even know the name of that song?
No.
It's Sukiyaki. It was a huge hit in, I believe, the 60s.
How would you know that?
I just know things.
Hey, we
everybody
are the
remember-
champions. You know who sang that?
Queen.
Yep. And what does it represent? Me. We are the champions. Season 9. Jeff Miller. Let's go.
Did you just... Okay. You know what? I'm going to leave that one alone. I think everybody else is thinking what I'm thinking, but...
What's that? Like Jeff is the champion, that you're lucky to be in my presence?
Okay. That's enough of that. Tonight, we are going to be watching the movie Dead Alive is our horror film, and our sports film is A Knight's Tale. So we're going to start things off with the horror film. We want to remind you also that you should always hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when we put out new shows. And we hope you like tonight's presentation with the Jeff Miller coming on first to talk about Dead Alive.
Are we getting OnlyFans pages too?
No.
Raise some money.
It would make records for the least money ever made, and people just throwing up ridiculously.
So now that you can see the full screen, you can see the season 9 championship. Don't even put
right there by Council.
Don't even put Craig Council's head up there. There it's right there, and then we have the loving cup.
Oh, that timing.
No, I gotta show you. I know, and then we gotta show you this. There we go. That's season 9. That's the champion right there. Listen to that. Solid oak. All right, let's roll.
Were you knocking on that or your head? What was that?
Sometimes you never know. Anyways, so
tell me about the movie. Dead Alive.
So the movie Dead Alive is also named Braindead. So if you see something called Braindead, it's also Dead Alive. There was a New Zealand title, right?
New Zealand title is Braindead without a space, because there's Braindead with a space, which was, I think, a Roger Corman movie.
Yeah.
So there was confusion if they brought it into America with that same name. So they went to Dead Alive.
Which is a goofy name. So let's just not even talk about it right now.
It's fine.
It's really not. I just, it should have been called...
Braindead isn't that great of a name either.
But Braindead makes more sense than... No, you're right. Both names stink. But anyways, so here's the thing. So Braindead, the original name is Braindead. It's Dead Alive. It's a 1992 movie out of New Zealand. It's rated R. It's an hour and 44 minutes long. Okay? So this is an hour and 44 minutes that Jeff will not get back ever in his life.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Tim. So way to start out season 9 strong.
You got it.
Uh-oh. So
don't worry.
That's you know what that is? I can tell you exactly what that is. That's Lionel's mom. That's Lionel's mom from the movie. So here's the thing. So when I started watching this movie, so here's a couple things before I looked into it at all. I watch every one of these movies without knowing anything about them. Okay, so there's some of them like if I get a Halloween or Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, something that I've heard of. I kind of have a premise, so I don't know anything about this. So I'm going into this totally blind.
That is the best way.
Yep. So I go into this movie, and I'm like, I'm thinking, okay, at the very first blush, I'm like, this is a lot like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm thinking,
yes,
it is. Okay, thank you. It's a lot of like Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, it
starts on Skull Island,
which is a homage to. Did I use that word right?
Yeah.
To King Kong, because that's where King Kong is from. He's from Skull Island, correct? Correct. All right. But they're running away from natives in LM, and the very first image I have is Indiana Jones running through the field, start the engines, and you get that idea, right?
Yep.
Now, the next thing that I get from this is I get a whole Waterboy theme. And you know where I'm going with this. The mom, Elizabeth Moody, who plays Mum, she's Lionel's mom. She is totally the Kathy Bates character. She doesn't want her son to ever leave the house. Right. She does stuff so that her son has to help her out and all sorts of stuff. So I'm getting this Indiana Jones, Waterboy. And then when you see the rat monkey, I start thinking of Gremlins. So I got this whole blender of stuff going on in my head. I'm like, where is this even going to go? So what happens is these explorers or an explorer or whatever, he's bringing this rat monkey back to New Zealand for the zoo. All right. He's bringing it back to the zoo and he does get it back there, whatever. But here's the thing. I did like the scenes that were shot in the zoo because you know that was legit. You know that they just put cameras up and then if there's people walking in the background, it is a very wholesome scene because it wasn't staged.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the rat monkey was. Because...
No, they had a real rat monkey there.
Okay, so I looked this up when I was done. There's really no such thing as a rat monkey, all right? I did some searching.
You gotta look that up, okay?
I did, because I'm like, well, maybe...
Also, Jeff, there are no 40-foot tall monkeys, just so you're aware.
Where was that?
In King Kong.
Okay, well, yes.
I'm letting you know so you don't have to look that
Well,
one.
But I mean, it's called a Sumerian rat monkey. I'm like, that could be a real thing. And then they just made it look evil. Sort of like Gremlins. I mean, they just made it look evil. So I'm like, okay. So
because Mugwais are so cute.
Right.
So they just made the Gremlins look bad. The Mugwai are real Mugwai.
If I say that was claymation or stop motion, is that going to ruin the movie for people?
Just keep going.
Okay, so you might think it's a real monkey, but really they do this thing called stop motion, which is pretty cool. I thought it was pretty neat. So, but I mean, right? I mean, stop motion, that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, when you see it, but if you're not really paying attention, you think it's real, but if you really pay attention, you know that that's not real. But I didn't know if they could really get a rat monkey, so I had to look it up. So just so you people know, so you have to look at yourself, there is no such thing as rat monkey. So let's get back to the show. So
that was important information.
Right.
Thank you for that, Jeff.
So, I'm looking at all this. Oh, another style that I got off of this was because even though it was shot in 1992, Tim, did it not? And I don't know when Phantasm was shot, but didn't it feel a lot like Phantasm the way it was shot?
Well, this was made for very little money.
Okay, but you feeling that?
Low budget, and it was, it was a different time cinematically.
1992?
Yeah, we've changed a lot. Everything you saw in that movie today would be done for pennies on the dollar
On CGI.
in CGI.
Okay, so then you got to really appreciate this.
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I do and I don't.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I have all those good notes. I took a lot of good notes during this show. Here's where it kind of lost me. Okay, there's a couple things that lost me. First of all, so the one dude, he's over there. So, okay, so the mom is, I got to tell this story. Okay, I'm not really ruining anything for anybody. It's 1992, folks. You probably saw it or you didn't.
Let me get the spoiler.
No, there's no spoiler in this. So they come out. So the mom's already been bit by the rat monkey, right? And she kills a rat monkey, but she's already infected. So she's up for some award or to be the leader of the women's group or whatever. So the guy and the woman who lead the women's group come over that day, and she's like, "I'm all right. Let me go." So she's sitting there, and it was super gross. Like blood spurts out of her arm, and it spurts into the guy's pudding. Now, I kid you not. If anybody who watches this movie, you watch that scene, and you tell me that you just eat food. Oh, I'm just eating the food. You look at your food while you're eating it. You don't just, I'm playing.
Well, not if you're going to go from the corners. If you're eating from the corners instead of the center.
From the edge. There's no corner on a bowl.
Okay.
You're trying to be funny. But if you're eating from a bowl, regardless, you're looking down and you're eating. So if I see a splurt of blood in the middle of my pudding, which is yellow, I'm not eating it. But this guy...
No, it gets in the way of the pus.
Right. Okay. I started to gag.
It's yellow.
Okay, I gagged a little bit.
If it's yellow, you get a little pus in there. Nobody will even notice.
Okay, but I started to gag a little bit during this movie.
Did you like some pudding?
Not as bad as Centipede. But listen, so he's eating it,
Which I did not make you watch.
I know. You did
that to yourself.
That was in a drunken fuge.
Yeah,
I don't know. Fuge.
yeah.
Fuge. You ever hear of a fuge?
Now I have.
Okay, so he's eating this, but watch the movie. You got to see this part because he just and he's not even looking, and it bothered me because I know that I would look at my food. So okay, so back to some more. So the other big thing about this is there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of guts, there's a lot of pus, there's a lot. So after this was done, I did do some research, and I guess it's something like the most bloodiest or most...
The most blood used on a movie.
Right. It's the most blood. It's insane. I mean, you think that you've seen a lot of blood in a movie, you see like a Schwarzenegger movie, or you see something else. No. That's
nothing like this.
It's on the verge for me of being gross.
Verge of
I had a hard time, Tim. I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time.
It has more blood than Evil Dead,
and that's a lot of blood.
Saying something.
That's a lot of blood.
That one has a ton of blood.
Didn't he set out to do that or something? I mean, I think he set out.
Yeah, he absolutely set out to do that. In fact, he decided not to. He had the money to film it on, I believe, 32.
Yep. Yeah.
And he took it down to 16 so he could save money
for more blood
and do more blood. And they're actually, I don't know if they've done it yet, but they were talking about doing a 4K Blu-ray of this movie.
What would that do?
It would look gorgeous. The blood would be gorgeous.
What do you mean gorgeous? Come on, you're talking to me.
It would take what is not the best image quality and improve it. They'd remaster everything and make it really high resolution.
I'll tell you what.
Because I'll tell you why you want that.
Why?
You want that for the scene where the priest says, "I kick ass for the Lord." That scene is so worth it. Where he's just kicking the heads off of people and stuff. It's awesome. And we got a number of clips from that scene that I was able to
I'm not
find
even watching the clips. I should be watching them.
In the clips.
Yeah, I mean, it was really... There, he's eating the stuff. Did you see it? He was eating it. Yes. That's the grossest... That was pretty gross. I mean, there's a lot of gross parts, but that was... To eat someone's pus, can't imagine.
There he is, kicking ass for the Lord. Go, boy.
So, I mean, it's a... I can't say it's a decent story. There's Craig Counsell, of course.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's to scare you, Jeff.
It does. So what did you think of the rat monkey?
The rat monkey? Well, I didn't need to look it up. I knew that wasn't a thing.
I was a little disappointed because it looked more like a rat. It didn't even look like a monkey. Yeah. So why did they just call it a rat?
I don't know, Jeff.
I mean...
Probably so you wouldn't be confused and think actual rats do that sort of thing. A rat monkey doesn't exist, so people will go, oh, maybe this is fiction.
And tell me this.
Here's the thing. You probably were wondering because you went in blind.
I'm completely blind.
Yeah. The movie is a horror comedy. So this was meant to be over the top. That's why you have a little baby that he kicks around in the park. He's like kicking a baby around, and people are watching in disgusted horror as he's doing it.
But that's what I was doing. I didn't laugh at all.
It's a certain type of dark comedy to it that honestly, I enjoy it. I don't find it as funny as some people find it, but I really enjoy this movie because it goes, hey, let's be as batshit crazy as we possibly can. And it is. It's batshit crazy.
I mean, when she I'm not ruining anything, but at the very end, the mom at the very end, that's the most gruesome not gruesome, most disgusting looking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
That's because you haven't seen Peter Jackson's other movies that he has some characters that... It's interesting, a lot of his characters in his early movies that he did in New Zealand, they look similar to each other. He did a movie called Bad Taste, which was about some murderous alien monsters. He did a movie that a lot of people still talk about to this day called Meet the Feebles, which is like a dirty version of the Muppets. Is what
no kidding.
And all these puppet creatures are like real, but they're doing a puppet show, and they're all on drugs, and they're all multiple sexual partners and all sorts of... It's just batshit crazy. And then Peter Jackson went on to make the remake of King Kong and make Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy.
So the King Kong that he made, is that the one with Jack Black?
Yes, and we know you hate Jack Black.
Yeah, so now I don't even know if I like the movie anymore. Mm-hmm. Shoot. But he made Lord of the Rings. He made all those too?
He made all those.
So do you think it's tough for him to like pull it back so he doesn't do stuff like this in those movies?
I think what he knew is he had no money. So the way that he could get people to put their eyeballs on his movie was to be way out there. You know, like this movie.
Sure, yep. Yeah.
It's very easy to advertise this movie. This is the most blood you've ever seen on the screen. It is ridiculously gory, and it's funny if you allow it to be. You kind of, I will say, you watched this probably with Tango or
I did.
Alone.
No, Tango.
It's very different with an audience because everybody finds other little pieces a little bit funny, and when you realize that, you kind of go, oh yeah, this is idiotic. It's so far off the top. I mean, at the very beginning, the rat monkey like scratches a guy, and they cut off his arm and his hand, and then it scratches him on the head, and they're like, well, we better go for it. Yeah, it's that sort of stuff where, is it funny? No, but it's ridiculously gruesome. And that's what makes it funny, is it's just way over the top. It isn't close to going over the line. It goes over the line to the point where you get a crink in your neck to look back where it was. It's so far over the line.
Right. So when you talk about the guy that got scratched and all that, why'd they use two people to carry that basket? He obviously could carry the basket on his own. Why were they using two people?
Because they had two people.
These are the questions that I ask myself during a movie.
This is why you don't enjoy movies.
No. I enjoy a lot of movies. I enjoyed Knight's Tale. I enjoy a lot of movies. But here's the thing, though, Tim.
Do you think somebody enjoyed it?
Tim, don't bury the lead.
Go ahead.
Tim. So is there somebody out there that would say, okay, so since 1992, why doesn't anybody go, I'm going to outblood him? I'm going to outblood him. Maybe I'll make a movie. I'll outblood him.
Go ahead. Go ahead, because I don't think you realize how much that really was. That's a ton of blood. That's ridiculous. That's like double the next closest.
But it's not real blood.
No, but it's a lot. You got to make a lot of this physical stuff, and you got to get it onto the screen. It's not easy.
So tell me this, then why didn't Paquette, the love interest,
Yeah.
why didn't she get affected when the blood went on her foot?
Because the blood isn't the problem. It's getting bit is the problem. There was blood all over Lionel throughout the movie.
That's true.
And he didn't get infected. You have to be bitten or scratched.
I was waiting for her to turn.
Yeah, well.
But she didn't. So
she's the hero, and now you spoiled that she doesn't.
how is she the hero? You just want to play that music. She's not the hero.
She's the romantic lead with Lionel.
So here's the thing. Who doesn't look at their food while they're eating? No, wait, no. Okay.
Well, I
want to tell about the grossest scene.
There are some people that are waiting for this. This is our new feature.
I didn't know we have a new feature.
Here it comes. Patent connection. Already, we're 20 minutes into this. I wanted to tell you about the Dick Van Patten connection.
Let's hear it.
On this. So Peter Jackson was the director of this, and he made a movie that I'm going to be giving you one of these seasons called The Frighteners. I really like.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
It's got Michael J. Fox in it, of course.
Oh, then I want to see it then.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson?
Michael J. Fox.
Okay.
They're about the same. They were often confused for each other. In the movie The Frighteners, John Astin is in that movie. He was Gomez Adams in the TV show The Addams Family.
Yep.
He was also in the movie Freaky Friday, which of course featured Dick Van Patten.
See, that's got to be one.
So that is the Dick Van Patten connection.
That has to be one of the longest ones it took us to get to him. One or two, right?
That was about the usual length is 3. Yeah.
Do I have time to just tell the grossest scene for me?
Go ahead.
The grossest scene for me was when the dog went upstairs, Fernando went upstairs, and they pulled. I can't even talk. You know what it is, right? They're pulling. So the dog goes upstairs where the grandma is, where the mom is.
Yeah.
And you don't know what happens, and you hear some rumbling in that, and they go upstairs. Oh, I can't even talk about
the line at the end of the scene is your mother ate my dog.
But how they pull it out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Tim. I don't know why I brought it up. I wanted to, but I didn't. That's gross. But anyways,
You do not like dog violence in your home.
No, Tango. But that's Dead or Alive. No, it's not Dead or Alive. It's Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. What do you score the movie Dead Alive?
Dead Alive, the 1992 Dead Alive, which was rated R, which was an hour and 44 minutes long.
Oh, God, we almost missed it.
You know what, Tim? I can't get behind this movie. But I'm not gonna not get behind it. But so I'm gonna give it right down the middle of the road. I'm getting a 5, Tim.
A 5.
A 5. You gotta dig this stuff in order to really like it. If you're just a moderate horror fan, or if you don't like horror at all,
this is a pretty rough take with the gore that's in it. No, I'm saying it's a rough movie to watch.
If you don't
want the gore, you are not going to have a good time with this movie.
So you feel that I rated that legit?
I think so.
Okay, thank you.
So. You know what it's time for, Jeff?
I bet you merch.
It is. Merch. It's Merch Madness, everybody.
Let's make some merch money.
There's our buddy Jeff ready to go. And this week, here's our merch.
Where do we have it at?
I don't know.
There's a new merch in town.
Let's make some merch money.
Look at this sexy thing. You could be wearing this on a shirt very soon. It's our new merch. Get your Dead on the Bases merch right now, and you can.
Open it up Muskego style.
Timbers.
Didn't you work there at some point?
I
or-
did. I worked there with Cheryl White. Worked there for a little while, and we had 3 waitresses there. Beryl, somebody. So one was a redhead, and she was from Texas. Beryl was from England, and then we had someone from like Japan or the Orient, and they were all. You know what? Now looking back at this, I'm not kidding you, folks. Looking back on this now, they were looking for a young guy like me. They were. I'm not kidding you, Tim. Now I think about that time back there. That could have been a wild time at the Timbers.
Oh my God. All right. Well, we do need to tell some folks about some other things that are going on in the otherworldly culture world, and we want to remind everybody to check us out on Twitter at Dead End the Bases.
You don't call it X.
We've been on the air for 10 years.
I know,
now,
but I'm just saying you don't call it X. I call it X.
X, whatever it is. So, coming up next week here on the program, on Dead on Thursdays, will be Dead on Movie Reviews, and it's going to have Adam, Susie, Caden, and myself, and that's coming this Thursday,
Nice.
September 18th.
Sweet.
We also want to remind folks about upcoming at Dark Side Collectibles in Pennsylvania. They have some exciting new promotions that they are doing, and we'll be talking more about that as it comes closer. So stay tuned for more about Dark Side. Something we also always tell you guys about is, of course, our friends at Horror Realm. Horror Realm. That's right. And I thought that was going to turn on, and it didn't. Okay, let's see if anything works. No, we're not. Oh, okay. Here we go. Hit that button, and let's try it. There we go.
There we go.
So, Horror Realm 2026 is coming February 27th.
Nice.
And it is in a new location this year.
Really?
We do want to remind everybody, if you have a film like that one you're working on, Jeff, if you'd like to be a part of the Horror Realm Film Room, send your submission by December 1st to hrfilmpgh@gmail.com. Send us the information, and we will take it under consideration.
You can do stop motion, and that we can consider that too.
Yes. Okay, so the guest list, we got a great guest list this year at the event. We have our headliners, William Catt from Carrie and House, Jeffrey
Nice.
Kramer from Jaws, he's the deputy, Eduardo Sanchez, who is the director of the Blair Witch Project, and Andrew Divoff, who played the Wishmaster in that cycle of films. Then we have 2 from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. We have Bill Moseley, who plays Chop Top. He was also in the House of 1,000 Corpses. And Caroline Williams, who played Stretch in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Then we have from Silent Night, Deadly Night, from the first movie, we have Robert Brian Wilson. And from the second movie, it's Garbage Day with Eric Freeman. Do you know that reference? Garbage Day?
No.
We'll get you on that. It's a fun thing. And then Tara Buckman, who is in the first Silent Night, Deadly Night, but also is very memorable in that purple jumpsuit in Cannonball Run.
Yes, Cannonball Run.
Yeah, and that, of course, makes her a Hall of Famer for Dead on the Base.
I'm going to tell her that when I see her.
Okay. And we have other guests as well. We have Dana DiLorenzo from Ash vs. Evil Dead. She's one of the main leads of that. We have, and I'm going to butcher this name because I'm not Italian, but it's Ottaviano dell'Acqua, I believe, from Zombie.
You're close.
And he plays that face that you're seeing up there right now.
Get out of here.
Him.
That plays him?
Yeah. And then we have Jennifer Jostin from House of 1,000 Corpses, and the podcasters from Grim Life Collective will be there as well. So that's all coming to Horror Realm.
So do you think Bill Moseley knows her, or do you think she had did she have like a bit part and they never like ran across each other? Or do you think they know each other?
Who?
That one that was in 1,000 Corpses and Bill Moseley was in 1,000
No, they
Corpses.
probably know each other.
I'm just asking.
He may. I can't recall.
I never
if
saw
he
the movie,
kills
so
her
I
or
don't. Yeah,
not.
I was gonna say I never saw it.
I can't remember.
Why is he the killer?
Yeah, he's a bad guy in House of 1,000 Corpses.
Oh, why?
He's a bad guy.
Okay, you know me. Do you think I saw the movie?
There's not a chance in hell you saw
All
that
right.
movie.
All right then.
Okay, moving on, everybody. We are going into our next film that I got to watch, which is called A Knight's Tale. I have a lot to say about this thing.
Great.
You think what you want to think.
That's fine.
So,
Let's roll.
like most of Jeff's films, the lead in this film is a reprehensible fraud and a cheat. This is the story of a peasant that may or may not have killed his lord to assume his identity to take part in jousting competitions in the Middle Ages. The music that they use throughout the movie is very MTV modern music.
I like that.
Which makes it anachronistic, but it actually helps make it seem a little less stodgy than it would be in medieval films. And think about it, an orchestral score actually also wouldn't make sense because orchestras didn't really come into play until maybe the 1800s or so. In medieval times, it would be like a lute and, strumming some strings or something. So it was a nice approach toward it. But this movie in general is a Renaissance fair version of a racing film. And I'll tell you why I say that. You have a fierce rival that taunts the lead when he's not in the competition. There's a little romance that's going on the side. And a lot of the movie is not in the jousting arena.
You don't think so?
There's a lot more sports action in this movie than probably the last four
there you go.
sports movies
All
you gave me.
All I'm saying.
But they do spend a significant amount of time outside of the jousting arena as well. Here's the thing. I think they intended this to be a comedy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What they should have attempted to do was be funny. That would have been an interesting approach to comedy. Because this movie reminded me a lot of some of the recent years of Saturday Night Live where there's skits and it's just kind of amusing. It's not actually funny. I wanted a scene that made me laugh out loud.
Is that because you wanted it to be a comedy?
I wanted this to be more of a comedy.
But it's not listed as a
than
comedy,
turned
is it
out
though?
to be. What?
It's not listed as a comedy, is it?
Yeah.
It is?
It's listed as comedy, action, and comedy.
Okay.
Most places I looked, it said that, and they do make moves in that direction. They introduce a major character completely naked. There is constant threats of violence from our red-headed friend Alan Tudyk is constantly going to beat somebody to hell up. So there's moves in that direction. It just wasn't as funny as I think it needed to be.
Did you get like perturbed with the woman, how she was playing him? How she kept on like dangling the carrot for him?
Yes.
I got upset with that.
She is another reprehensible character, which I sat there and I said, you know what? This jerk deserves it.
What? How can you call Heath Ledger a jerk?
I'm not calling Heath Ledger a jerk. I'm calling the character he plays a complete jerk.
No.
That takes on... he lies throughout the film.
Is he lying or is it his
everybody.
people lying for him?
No, he's lying because he's the one that's perpetrating this fraud.
All right.
Don't tell me what a great guy this guy is.
All right.
He's a liar and a thief. But The director of this movie was also the writer, and he's best known for his scripts. He did the very excellent L.A. Confidential, in my mind, one of the greatest film noir movies ever made.
Very good movie.
He also wrote Mystic River. But did you know his first script was A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master?
No.
And his second script was also a horror movie, 976 Evil. More recently, he wrote 42 about Jackie Robinson.
I saw that. Turdick's in that.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a Dodger manager. Yep.
And the TV,
Or not, no.
his TV writing credits are all horror, from Tales from the Crypt, and he wrote for Friday the 13th, the series. So he's got some experience in sports. He has some experience in horror movies and, quote, legit movies like L.A. Confidential, which they had a slew of Academy Award nominations, as did Mystic River.
Question.
Yes.
976 Evil. Is that movie poster just a picture of a skeleton head looking at you?
Cannot remember.
Okay, I thought
I don't remember the
I do.
poster.
I'm going to look it up.
Heath Ledger, of course, made his fame with this movie and 10 Things I Hate About You, which also was oddly enough, it harkens back to the 1400s.
This is wrong.
That's the one that's directed by Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger himself. That was his directorial debut, 976 Evil.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Heath Ledger. 10 Things I Hate About You also harkens back to the 1400s because the source material for 10 Things I Hate About You is Taming of the Shrew, which was written by Billy Shakespeare. He died. Heath Ledger died after his career high playing the Joker, or some people call him Guy Smiley, in The Dark Knight. But people forget he also played a man in medieval times from the TV series Roar, which was in 1997 for Fox. Of course it was Fox because it got canceled before it should have. And it was a series that was written by former pop music sensation and one of the Hardy Boys, Sean Cassidy. Sean Cassidy has been writing a lot of television, and Roar was one of his first shows that he had out of the box. I find it interesting that Heath Ledger makes all these movies that are somehow connected to the 1400s or medieval times. No problem. He makes one movie about a DC character and he kills himself. I don't know what was going on there, but he seemed fairly stable. You didn't hear a lot of stuff about him in the news. And then next thing we know, he killed himself. So it's really very sad.
I heard during the time he was shooting The Dark Knight that he actually stayed in character the whole time. He stayed in a motel by himself. I mean, no outside. He just lived it.
He went method.
Went
method. And I'm like, he couldn't do that with medieval movies because what is he going to do? Not use electricity or something? It doesn't make any sense. So I think Heath Ledger is going to be one of those people like James Dean that people talk about. Boy, he could have done a lot yet.
What was he, 28, I think?
He was young.
Very young, 28, I think.
Yeah, Rufus Sewell, who plays the bad guy in this, I know him best from a movie called Dark City, which was actually one of Roger Ebert's favorite films. He actually did he did a commentary instead of director commentary. It was Roger Ebert on that DVD. Excellent film. His performance is probably the highlight to this movie for me because he had a good balance of being creepy and intimidating. And I think he helps ground this movie that has a dance sequence with David Bowie music playing in the background.
True.
Golden years. It's just like, what is going on? Now, the female lead is Shannon Sosaman. She's not a name I know, but I looked at her resume. She actually has a lot of movies that I enjoy on that resume. The thing I think that hurts his movie the most is Shannon Sosaman. I don't think she has any chemistry with Heath Ledger at all. I think she stank up the screen every time she got on screen. And she is a horrible human being. She's good looking.
bad.
She knows she's good looking, and she uses it to torture people. What a jerk! I had no redeeming thoughts about her as a character.
Agreed.
And I don't think she was a good actress. Mark Addy, who kind of plays the right-hand man to Heath Ledger, he's probably best known these days for being in the first season of Game of Thrones. And he was also in the movie Full Monty is what I know him from. He's very good at comedy. So Mark Addy was a good addition. So is Alan Tudyk, the redhead in here. To me, he'll always be the pilot in Firefly, but he's actually been on this show twice before. We'll talk more about that coming up. He is the lead in Resident Alien, which I think he's finally getting the credit he deserves as an actor. He's been doing a lot of cartoon voices for Disney. Throughout that list, good acting with the exception of Shannon Sosaman.
I agree.
Overall, this is a light and breezy piece of fancy, but it goes on
Fancy.
Well, it's fanciful. It's like none of this could actually happen.
It did. How do you think they made the movie?
Yeah, whatever.
It's jousting.
But it goes over 2 hours. It just goes on and on and on. This is supposed to. It should have been a fun, exciting movie. You know, you mentioned Waterboy. It should have been something more like that. You know, just entertain me and get the hell out of the way. The pitiful chemistry of the lead romance really dragged me down. And Rufus, I'm in negotiations to become her husband. I'm like, you know what? You guys deserve each other. Go ahead. Alan Tudyk says it a number of times in the movie. I'm going to give you pain, lots and lots of pain. That's how I felt. I felt 15 to 30 minutes could have been excised from this movie.
Okay.
With ease.
I can agree with you on that.
But right now, before I get to my score, we can go to
So we're gonna have connections for both movies.
We've been doing that with Pauly Shore.
Have we?
Yeah, you don't have to do any work. So,
okay. All right, let's see it.
Heath Ledger, of course, was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Which featured Tiny Lister, who is also in a lot of sports movies.
He's a black guy that got one eye.
He's a black guy. He's got one eye, and he's about the size of a house.
Yeah, I know who it is.
They call him Tiny.
He's bald.
Right. He was in a movie called First Dog, which featured Dick
DVP.
Van Patten. That's right. So
DVP, baby.
Enjoy that. That's the Dick Van Patten connection. But you know what there's even more of?
What?
That's right. It is.
Merch?
Come on. It didn't start up. There it goes. The horror movie connection.
I love this time. This is so much fun.
Here we go.
Because I don't do any of it.
Now, I'm going to tell you how many horror movies they were and how many movies total they were in. We always run a percentage. We have one actor today that I think has one of the highest percentages I've seen in a long time.
Since we've been doing this?
Yeah.
All
It
right.
was a long time. And at the end of the season, I'll tell you who had the highest percentage during the season. So let's start with Heath Ledger. Now, obviously, he was his career was cut short by his lifespan. He only made 23 movies. I think he would have made a ton of movies.
He probably would have.
He was really going up the ranks. Out of those 23, only 2 movies are considered horror. The Brothers Grimm is one of them, so very low percentage on him. Rufus Sewell, he was in Bless the Child and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and a total of 7 horror films out of 77 total credits. So a lot of credits for Rufus.
So Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, when it came out,
Yeah.
it intrigued me. Is it worth the intrigue?
It's a
or
horror
not?
comedy. It's
Okay.
a horror comedy.
Well, that'd probably be up my alley
If
then.
you stick around, you'll probably.
Oh, if I
get to
stick
see it.
around.
If you stick around.
Oh, you're gonna fire me.
Well, you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You know.
All right. Shannon Sosaman.
Yeah.
52 credits, which I was shocked because I'm like, how did she
I've never seen her
getting
before.
a lot of work because I didn't think she was very good. But listen to this. She did One Missed Call, Sinister 2. She's in something called A Hollow Warrior. I went through her credits. There are 13 horror credits. She has a 25% of her movies are horror. That's really high. That's pretty good.
She's obsessed.
Now, Paul Bettany, you know he plays the Vision in Marvel these days, but Paul Bettany, out of 59 films, only had 2 horror films, but they were Priest and Legion, which were gigantic horror films. So a lot of people like him from those. I am not a fan of those 2 films. Laura Fraser, now that's the blacksmith. If you don't recognize her, that's the blacksmith. All right. She had 2, but I never heard of them, so I'm just going to give her a loser. I don't know when it was taken.
Yeah, that's not good, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm giving her a loser on that one.
Don't give her a loser.
I am. Mark Addy, also nothing I've heard of.
Yeah, you can give him a loser.
Yeah. But Alan Tudyk.
Dodgeball.
This guy is a Hall of Famer a couple times over.
Yeah.
He did Dodgeball.
Yeah.
And he was in Tucker and Dale versus Evil. So he has actually done both sides, which is very unusual for one of our actors to get on both sides.
Yeah,
I think Kevin Costner's the other one I can think of.
Mr. Brooks.
And
then the program. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any others. But there's very few that have been both in sports and horror. But listen to this.
You're absolutely right.
Listen to this. 162 credits and counting. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Really?
6 of them are horror films. 6.
Really?
So very strong horror movie connections.
I just don't see where Tucker and Dale was a horror movie at all.
It's a parody. It's a parody.
That was a rough one for me to watch. I just didn't get it. I think you remember that. I think you remember me doing that one. I just didn't get it.
And I thought for sure that was going to be a hit with you. So I don't always get it right.
What's your rating on this one?
So we're going to go to the score, and I am going to show my usual plum and give this one a 7.
Yes.
It's a good movie. Why is
Miller's off to a good start on this one with a sports movie he likes, because last season I started with the Bronze and that was bad.
Here's the problem.
That was bad.
There we go. So yeah, 7 for that film. I think this movie, when I think back on this movie and the viewing of it and all of that, here's where I go with this. It had the potential to be really good. It had a lot of potential, and it squandered it. It squandered it completely. It's sad how bad it turned out. I'm giving it such a high score because it's almost good. And, it should have been better. It's iconic at the time, and it really was a star-making vehicle for Heath Ledger. So you got to give it some credit for that. Well, I think we all know what time it is. It is time for trivia, everybody. So this should be exciting if it starts.
You want to just give people a quick recap what we do for trivia?
Absolutely, I do. What I want to say is, okay, we're going to read out 3 statements to each other. One of them is going to be a gosh darn lie. The other ones are going to be true. And the other person has to be the truth detector and figure out which is true and which is not true. Okay? So that's how you get 5 points if you correctly detect if a statement is false.
And you get 3 if you try really hard.
No, you don't. You get 0.
Did I get any extra points this week at all?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, I'm going to ask you first.
Yeah.
All right. So the main female character, Shani Sesaman, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
She started in
The Spanish gal.
yes. She started an indie band with her sister called Warpaint.
Okay.
Heath Ledger and Alan Tudyk
What are you doing?
I'm reading off my 3 questions.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead. All right.
Okay, so
the first one is
yes,
done.
Yes.
Okay. So
Shannon-
the second one is Alan Tudyk.
It doesn't sound like that's together, but okay. The lead character, the lead woman, Shannon Sarasiam.
Sassaman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Started an indie band with her sister called Warpaint.
Okay.
Meh. Number 2, Heath Ledger and Alan Tudyk coincidentally met for the first time during Spamalot, directed by Hank Azaria. And the third one is Heath Ledger won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor.
Heath Ledger won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. It's possible. I think he might have won it posthumously, actually, for Joker. I don't believe was Spamalot even a thing while Heath Ledger was still alive? That's my big question. And I'm not sure Hank Azaria directed Spamalot. I'm going to say Spamalot is false.
Really?
Yep.
For those reasons.
That's the reasons.
Well, you backed into that one because you're correct.
Ah,
But Spamalot was directed by Hank Azaria.
it was.
Alan Tudyk was in Spamalot.
Really?
And Spamalot was around with Heath Ledger. So somehow you backed
Really?
yourself into a win. Yeah. Nice job.
I thought that all happened after.
No. Nice job, Tim. I got to give you credit. That's a
Well, I was right for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
I'm still right.
Hank Azaria
right.
did direct
Okay.
it. Alan Tudyk was in it.
I had trouble coming up with trivia
Wow.
on this one. So,
Okay, wait. Let me make a confession right now.
yeah.
I wrote those up right before this show while we were talking to Susie.
Of course you did. Because you were not listening.
It was hard for me to write it up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna look this way.
Let's go with what are the 3 I want to use?
It's only an hour show,
Okay,
Tim.
here we go. So the first one is going to be the Spanish actress Diana Penalver. I think I'm saying that right.
Okay.
Didn't do much acting after this film and became a civil engineer in her home country of Spain.
Okay.
The man taking a picture of the monkey getting its brains beat
You
in
got to be kidding me. Go ahead.
is
Yeah.
Forrest Ackerman. He is the publisher of the magazine Famous Monsters of Filmland.
You got to be kidding me. Okay.
And the last one is Peter Jackson went on to make the Lord of the Rings movies. They were made by the studio that was founded partially on the money it made on past Dead on the Bases movie, The Nightmare on Elm Street. So we have Diana becoming a civil engineer. We have Forrest Ackerman, the publisher, making a cameo in the film. And we have Peter Jackson making the Lord of the Rings movies for the same studio that originally made Nightmare on
Who is
Elm
Peter
Street.
Jackson in this movie?
Peter Jackson's the director of the
Okay.
film.
All right. And then are we saying that that woman that you're talking about, she did not do any acting. She just became a civil engineer.
I'm saying she didn't do much acting after that and then went off to become a civil engineer.
Okay, so 3 is going to be correct because we talked about that during the show. Now, the question is, Jeff, did
We
you...
actually didn't talk about that during the show.
I know, but in my head we did.
Okay.
So then let me just think. So now if I'm going with
So
civil...
you can be wrong for
what,
the right reasons.
what does a
This will be
what does a
awesome.
civil engineer do?
A civil engineer?
Yeah.
Well, they don't swear. That's what makes them civil. A civil engineer does roads and grading of
She's
ground
a
and
woman. She probably doesn't know how to do that. So-
You can send those emails to Jeff at otherworldlyculture.com. Or you can use our new audio feedback feature. Press the record button right on our website, and you can tell him what a jerk he is.
She actually had her role correct in the movie where she was waiting on the guy. But
Oh
all right,
my
let's
God.
just see here.
You misogynistic asshole.
Don't be swearing. There's no reason for that.
Yeah, there was a reason.
All right,
Okay, go
so
ahead.
civil engineer. I think, you know what? And then tell me what the guy's name is that took the pictures.
Forrest Ackerman.
So we're saying he did a cameo and he just took those pictures. Makes sense because he's like, that's his only part in there. He's not really in there otherwise. So I'm going to say, I want to say the civil engineer thing is correct because I think you're setting me up so that I say that so I do look like a jag. It's between actually. Did that guy take the pictures or not? You know what? That could be the false one. That's a very easy one to be false. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say that the bottom one is correct, the one about the whole Lord of the Rings thing.
Okay.
But wait, you could have been talking about that during the show just to set me up for this to be false.
That would be very tricky of me if I did.
So you're saying the money from this helped them do the other ones, or no? The money from what?
Jeff.
Just repeat one more time.
Jeff. Oh my God.
Please,
Here we
please,
go.
please.
Peter Jackson went on to make the Lord of the Rings movies.
You did mention that.
They were made by the same studio that was founded partially on the money it made on The Nightmare on Elm Street.
So it would go Lord of the Rings. It would go Lord of the Rings came after Elm Street, so that's possible. Was she a civil engineer?
This is why so many people tuned in, is to watch Jeff just twist and turn.
I'm gonna say Tim. I'm gonna say she looks like a civil engineer. I'm gonna say that the false one. I want to say I want the picture one to be true, but
Just pick one.
no, just give me one more
It's
second.
5 points.
I know, but I need 5 points
Oh my God.
because I'm the champion. Let's see. I'm gonna say the false one. The false one is the first one about her being a civil engineer. That's false. Yes! There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm the champion. That's why this cup is going to be coming home for season 10.
Wow.
Yes.
You
Yes.
are so excited.
Go make me a sandwich.
Oh my God.
Yes. Hot damn. That's what I'm
Wow.
talking about, people.
Wow.
Whew. That took a lot of brain power.
Now, Forrest Ackerman is a very famous publisher. The famous Monsters of Filmland was the precursor
Wow.
to things like Fangoria. So that was a very cool thing. And also Forrest Ackerman had one of the original King Kong maquettes for many years.
What's a maquette?
The puppet. The puppet that they used for stop motion. I thought you were an expert on stop motion. You were telling
I
us
don't
all
use
about it earlier.
maquette. I don't use maquette.
Okay.
Tim.
Anyway, there you go.
Tim,
it's
oh my
time
God.
to preview next week because we took way too long in trivia. Again.
You have no idea what that took for me to get that.
I watched every 30 minutes of it there. Okay, everybody. So, next week or not next week on the show, next time we do the show, it'll be live on October 2nd. Ooh. We have the sports movie, Johnny Be Good. Jeff, why did you pick this movie? And have you ever watched it?
A few times.
Okay.
This is a great football movie. This is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's always fun to find out if Jeff even knows what movie.
No, I do. I saw this movie when it was at Budget Cinemas. I saw it a couple times when it came out on TV or whatever. But here's the thing. It's about college football. It's about sports and how the big schools try to recruit the high schoolers. It's a fun way to do it. It's a lot of fun. You have what's his name? Anthony Michael Hall. You have Robert Downey Jr. and you have Uma Thurman's movie debut. That's her screen debut here.
Good for her. That's Johnny Be Good coming next time on Dead on the Bases. And I have Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warrior. Jeff, this movie, by a lot of people, consider this the best of the Freddy Krueger movies. A lot of people do. I think it's my personal favorite. It is not as terrifying as a lot of the other movies. It's almost like an Avengers type of movie.
Oh, really?
It's really interesting. a lot about the nature of what dreams are. So I think you're really going to enjoy this.
I've never seen 2. Do I have to see 2 first?
You do not.
Okay.
You do not need to see 2. In fact, this movie was kind of a result of 2 not being very well received. I think 2 these days people like 2 more than they did when it initially came out. People hated 2. People hated 2, but they still all went to see it, which the people at New Line Cinemas, who made this movie and went on to make Lord of the Rings and then go out of business. They made a lot of money on Lord of the Rings, and they screwed it all up, and they went out of business after making the biggest movie. It's an interesting story. Anyway, with Nightmare on Elm Street, they were shocked that a movie that people all said, I hate this movie sucks and all that. It went on to make a lot of money, and they're like, well, we got to find some way to right the ship and get the Freddy movies go in the right direction. I think it's the strength of this film and the 4th film, which was written by your guy from Knight's Tale. I think directed by Rennie Harlan, who did... I think that's the one Rennie Harlan did. He was the director of Die Hard 2 and married to Gina Davis for a while. That came out after 3. 4 came out after 3. And I think it's the strength of those films that really kept the train going and just making money. For a while, the Freddy movies were coming out every year and a half, and they made bonkers amount of cash.
Doesn't Freddy go against Jason at one point?
He did.
Like on the moon or something?
No. It was grounded on Earth. Actually, Freddy versus Jason gets a lot of hate from people. I actually think it's a great introduction to Jason and Freddy, even if you never saw any of the other films. Really well done. But I think you're going to enjoy Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
3, I picked it specifically for you.
What a good friend.
You know it. I'm always thinking of you. Another thing that we want to remind everybody is that Dead on Thursdays comes every Thursday, and coming up next week, September 18th, we have Dead On Movie Reviews with Adam Holtzapfel, Susie McIntyre, Caden Fairchild. He's a new panelist. We worked with him on the show Full Oral Legends that kicked off this season. And of course, I'll be on Dead On Movie Reviews. I can tell you the substance: Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Clown in the Cornfield, and the new Toxic Avenger movies will be all reviewed next week here on Dead On Movie Reviews. Did that get you hyped up?
Yes, Tim.
You do not sound hyped up, my friend.
It's all good. It's all good.
You just like the shows you're on.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's good. That's all good.
Great.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I reviewed that one time.
I think we did watch.
We did. That was like season 3.
Was it?
It was early on.
Bleed together for me. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's time to close the crypt and call the game. Thank all of you for watching, and remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show on otherworldlyculture.com and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, YouTube, and other fine places you find podcasts. A lot of people ask, we moved off of Twitch because we figured out we're not playing games.
True.
And the Twitch is, I was told by a lot of people, you can do a lot with Twitch if you're not playing games. But it's very hard for people to find you because Twitch is so set up. If there are people that
who's watching people play games though?
A lot of people.
I don't get it. I'm not going to watch somebody play Pac-Man.
A lot of people.
No.
I admit I watch a good amount of it myself.
All I want to see is championships.
Okay, whatever.
Championships,
but
people.
We did find we had a couple shows last season where we blasted it out on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. and YouTube was getting a heck of a lot more people, so we have moved over to the YouTube and coming to you live on Thursday nights, and there might be a new show coming soon on Monday nights, but we can't tell you much about that yet.
That all being said, I don't remember. Did you give out our email addresses?
They were given out at the beginning of each of our groups, but it's Jeff at otherworldlyculture.com.
That's for me.
For the champ over
That's right.
there. And for Lowly Tim, it's Tim at otherworldlyculture.com.
I have photos of me
get this
holding
the
up.
right way, dude.
I have people holding photos of me holding up my trophy for signature. So just send it to me. It's a free photo. Just send me a hey Jeff, I want a photo, and the ump will sign it for you.
Oh my God! All right,
Season 9.
Remember, everybody, if it's sports, it's a home run. If it's horror, run home. We're dead on the bases, and we'll see you next time. Otherworldlyculture.com.
I gotta live it up while I can. I don't know how this season's gonna come out. I have no idea. Hey, if I keep getting trivia right, that's 45 points.
You backed into that 3 times.
No,
That was such a mess to watch. It actually made me sad a little bit.
it did me. Yeah, because I took 5 points. I'm up 12-10.
You know what it took? It took about 7 minutes out of my life. I'll never get back. Good night, everybody.
See ya.